Welcome back. As is often the case recently, real life has kept me away from studying chess and from making and/or editing these videos. The most recent thing is we tore out a bunch of our carpet and replaced it with LVP, which if you're not familiar, and I just learned, it stands for luxury vinyl plank. It's a type of flooring, it's smooth, it mimics the look of wood. In our case, I think it can also mimic the look of stone. But anyway, that took a lot of work and a lot of time, moving a bunch of furniture and the things contained in and on the furniture, and then ripping out the carpet and putting out the LVP and bringing the furniture back in and refilling it with the things that had been on there, and in the meantime deciding which things we didn't want anymore or which things we wanted to move or replace. Anyway, it's been a big deal. Today I'm going to play a bot on chess.com. Since I beat Wendy the last few times I played her, finally I got several wins in a row against Wendy. I'm moving up to the next one, which is rated the same, 1500. This is Antonio from Paraguay. Paraguay? I don't know. And since it's already set on the white pieces, I'm just going to click play with the white pieces instead of insisting on letting the computer choose the colors like I did in the past. And then if I win this one, I'll move on and play with the black pieces. And if I don't, I will probably end the video and play white again the next time. Okay, I think that's aiming for this. That's the Agincourt defense, although sometimes they don't always play d5 after pushing the e-pawn. But in this case, he did. And I'm pretty sure I have to take it, because if I don't, it comes after my knight. And after I take, they usually take back, and then I have to play d4, because if I don't, they come after my knight. So I'm going to take it. When he takes back, I'm going to play d4 to keep him from coming after my knight. I know that much. I've been through this stage of the opening a lot. But now we're in the Queen's Gambit declined, according to this, which I have also played back before I switched to the English. And one of the reasons I switched to the English is because I never could get the hang of d4 openings. But now I'm in one, and they have played h5, which maybe it's okay. Goodness, I'm not sure what to do here. I kind of want to play e4 to see if they take, and then I could take back. But then that's just another trade of pawns, and then this d pawn is all by itself. But then they won't have any center pawns at all. Or should I just get the knight out? Nope, you know what? I'm going to do it because I have no idea, and it seems fun. I assume that he did not take. He has pinned this knight. Oh, so now that pawn's free. Wow. Well, I should just move it forward one then, so they don't take it. If he does take the knight, I'm going to take back here, obviously. Oh, we're going to undermine the pawn chain here. Should I block this pin, or should I check and see what he does? No, but he'll probably block with the bishop, and then where do I put my queen at after that? I really don't know. You know what? I'm going to see what the bishop wants to do here. It wanted to back up. Well, you know what? Let's check with our bishop, because we want to get these pieces out so we can castle. They have blocked there. And what? Let's get the other knight out so we can castle. Not sure about that. Where's that headed? I don't know, but I'm going to go ahead and castle so that this isn't a pin anymore. Okay, I thought they were going to take there and I was going to be in trouble. But now that my knights are not pinned anymore, let's see. You know what? No, I was going to say I could play b4 here, and then if they took with en passant, I could get my queen over there. But I don't know if that's any good. And if they don't take with en passant, they would need to move their bishop. Is that okay? I don't know. We're about to find out. He moved the bishop back, aiming at this pawn, which is defended twice. I'm kind of surprised he didn't take it, but he probably wanted this pawn to be aiming somewhere into the center of the board. Now I have half a mind to play knight to g3, which threatens this bishop, which is currently undefended, and threatens this pawn, which is only defended by the rook. But if I did that, I think Antonio could solve both of those problems by playing this one pawn. But if he did that, I would take the bishop and mess up the pawn structure. So I'm going to do that. We're going to find out what happens and see. He has brought this bishop in here to d3. I was just analyzing a game the other day where my opponent was supposed to play bishop to d3 several times and missed it. In this case, he has a pawn guarding it. In the other game, he did not. And of course, it is coming after my rook, which I assume I should move, but is it that bad to move the rook now? Let's move the rook. And then he's going to advance this pawn since... Oh no, he took this undefended pawn and is threatening this undefended knight. Oh my. Okay, so Antonio's a pawn ahead. I mean, I guess I could move that rook too, but I also need to develop this bishop, so let's do that. Oh, he took it. Okay, well, we're going to take... Is he going to advance this pawn? He did. Wow. It feels like I'm in trouble. That's what this feels like. I don't know if that's what's happening, but it does feel like I'm in trouble. I'm going to back up one. I assume he's going to push this forward. No, he did not. He moved that pawn forward, which I said he was going to do earlier. Oh, I could have just taken this pawn because the knight is pinned. Oh my. Okay, that's what I should have done, but I did not. Okay, let's throw this knight up here, maybe aiming for that. Now he's going to push this pawn forward. No, he didn't. Okay. Well, I'm going to take the knight then, which I'm pretty sure has to take back with that pawn. Then I'm going to take this pawn, which he left undefended a second ago because, oh, now my knight is, oh, wow. Oh, I thought I had something there because earlier my knight wasn't defending that and the queen was here, but now, oh my, I messed up. Well, this is bad. I'm a piece down. Well, Antonio is just snapping it apart here. Let's see. What can I do? Can I do anything? I can't even really move the queen because that leaves my bishop hanging. You know what? Let's put the bishop in here, which keeps that pawn from going down. See if he wants a queen trade. He did. I've got a pawn going this way. That doesn't hurt my feelings much over there. I cannot advance the pawn right now because the bishop and the pawn are guarding that square. But maybe I can come pick up this one. Let's try and see if I assume he will defend it. He didn't. He just went this way. Now he's going to defend that pawn with the knight. Okay. Well, I guess let's put another rook over here. Pawns are coming. I guess I should have put the rook over here. But now it's too late because now the pawn's going to go there where the bishop protects it. Oh my. Okay. You know what? Well, I need an out for my king here in a second. So I'm going to do that. He's going to push the pawn again. I have to move over now. Is he going to bring the rook down? No, he's bringing the knight around. Oh, because this pawn is hanging. I don't think I can protect that pawn in any way. I'm going to take this one. He's going to take that one, which threatens this rook, and then I have to move the rook someplace. Could put it back. Could move up to the 7th rank. Let's move it up to the 7th rank there for a moment. Okay, that pawn is currently defended, but I assume he's about to go here. Well, that's frustrating. Maybe, what if I just squeaked this bishop out like that? Still protects the pawn. Okay, the knight moved away because now they didn't have a fork down here. And now I do have both rooks aimed at this pawn, but it's not worth it with me be down 3 points of material, is it? Is it worth it to trade one rook for a bishop and a pawn? I don't think that it is. I guess I should look for checks. Oh, I have this one, but the knight is guarding that square. I have this check, which would allow the king to come up and threaten both pieces. Also, oh, there's that. Yeah, never mind. My other rook is not defending that rook. There is this check, which leaves the king only one legal move besides blocking. Okay, he could block. If I check with this rook on e1, he could block with the knight, which is a bad idea. I would take it because my bishop's guarding that square. He could block with the bishop. That's probably what he will do, isn't it? But if he blocks with the bishop, then I take this pawn. What if he moves over here? Then what do I do? I don't know. I'm going to check, and we're going to find out because, you know, my time is ticking away. He did move over there. You know, if I check with the bishop, not only can he take it, but it undefends my rook. I can bring this this rook down, but his knight is there. I can do something with my front rook, like take the f pawn, which threatens that rook. Should I do that? I'm going to take the f pawn, which I think is undefended, and I'm threatening the rook with the bishop there. Okay, he's gotten behind this, so I definitely need to get in front of that. Yeah, I don't think I have any choice but to get in front of that. Yeah, I've got to. Now I've got to see, am I going to be able to take this pawn? Oh, he's lined up with my bishop because his knight's about to hop somewhere. Where's his knight going to hop? Which reveals an attack on my bishop. I don't know, but this... oh, the bishop's undefended right now. Okay, well now I'm only down 2 points of material because I got the f pawn, and I just realized his bishop's undefended. I kind of want to take it because it's protecting this pawn. But then he moves this knight and my bishop's undefended, and he might move the knight in a place... No, if he moves the knight to attack my rook, I could just trade off for it, maybe. I'm going to take this, see what he does. He did move the knight there, which attacks my rook and threatens my bishop with this. But now, because the knight's not guarding this anymore, I can check, which saves the rook. And then when he gets out of check, I can save the bishop. Wait. Oh, I'm ahead on material? Oh, because I just got this bishop. Okay, then what I'm going to do is check. When he gets out of check, I'm going to take that rook. And when he takes that, I'm going to get the knight, I think. Let's do this. Check. Did he make a mistake? Or did I play really well? Probably not. See what he does. He took the rook. Okay, well then I'm going to save the bishop by... Can I go there? No, he can just defend that pawn. But I do need to save the bishop. Let's go back one and then get this pawn. I think I'm ahead. But I have to worry about being back ranked, but that's why I moved my f pawn earlier. Can I just take that? And then I'll be up 2 pawns, or should I do something else? Oh wait, I know how to get this pawn now. He can't defend this pawn now because he's in check from my rook. So I'm going to take this pawn, and then he's coming for the mate, maybe? Okay, come on. Let's see, what do I need to do? I kind of want to drop this bishop back to f8, where it's going to continue guarding this pawn, and then I assume he might check me or something, and I'll get out of check, but then he won't be able to get behind that pawn and win it, because I will be protecting it again. He did check me like I expected. I'm going to get out of check. If he does get behind my passed pawn, the bishop he didn't get behind the passed pawn. He's coming for, what's he coming for? Is he going to try this to trade off rooks? I think he's probably going to, is he going to check here? I should just come forward, I think, toward that rook. I'm going to come toward the rook and see what it does. If it goes over behind my h-pawn, I could just move it. It didn't go behind the h-pawn. Wait, he just gave me the knight and I didn't see it? Is that what happened? He just gave me the knight and I didn't see it. Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow. Well, I'm pretty smart sometimes. I don't know if you can tell. I mean, I can still take it, but I don't want to now. And now I can't come toward the rook because of that knight. I can, however, push this g-pawn. If he takes, I can take back, and if he doesn't take, I get the rook. Or if he moves the rook, I could either take the pawn or keep going, and I think I will keep going. So let's try this, see what he does. He took it. Okay, I'm threatening the rook. He doesn't have any more pawns left. I have 3 pawns left, and now I've got the knight. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm winning now. Oh, he's trying to sneak around, but I can defend that. So I want to drop this rook back so I can get behind that passed pawn, because I might need to move my bishop here in a second like that, and then I can put this rook behind the passed pawn and start moving it like so. And then of course my bishop is guarding that square. I thought he was going to try to get in front of my pawn. Oh, but he couldn't get in front of it there. He would have had to go to that square. Okay, he needs to go back. This is defended, this is defended, that's defended. I can move one more with it. Let's move one more with it. I can also move this pawn so it's protected and like so. And he's running around. I'm going to check him. He has to get out of in front of that pawn, and then I'm going to promote it. Oh no, he just gave up the rook. This is not a stalemate because it's a check. And now I'm going to promote that to a queen, and then we're going to checkmate right now. Okay. Well, I was really worried, and I'm pretty sure I messed up multiple times, but especially at some point early in the game. I know I was behind. But I don't know exactly where I went behind, and I don't know exactly where I got back ahead. I want to check that real quick in the game review. I'm feeling a little good that I won, but feeling a little not good that it was so difficult for me. Okay, I was definitely behind, and I was behind twice. Sorry, get my mouse pointer out of the way. Yeah, there's a couple of dips there that Antonio didn't take advantage of. Then he did take advantage of it, and he was ahead for some time right through the middle game, which often happens. This graph looks very familiar to me. And then it was one blunder followed by a mistake right over here that gave it back. Oh, there was another one that I didn't take advantage of. Okay. Well, I'm just going to click on the graph. Does that still work? It doesn't work. Okay. It used to work. Maybe if I click down here. Oh, okay, that worked. Where'd the graph go? It's down at the bottom. Where are we? Okay, there's the green line. I want to go to this point right there. Okay, back up. Right here, according to this eval bar, we're very even, and I played bishop to b2 because I thought that knight was in trouble, but I should have done something different. According to this, the bishop to b2 was a blunder, and his mistake was taking the knight. What should I have done? Because if I don't defend the knight, he takes it for free, and then he's threatening to exchange his bishop for one or the other of my rooks, and there's not much I can do about it. I thought that one seemed like that was almost a force, but according to Stockfish, it's not. I mean, I could have gone ahead and taken this pawn. I don't know what good that would have done. He would have gotten my knight. I could have checked, but then he would have come after my knight, and then he still would have been pointed at both my rooks, and I would have been down a lot of material. And I'm pretty sure I shouldn't have sacrificed my queen. I'm pretty sure I shouldn't have just moved the knight someplace and let him have the rook. Okay, well, this one has befuddled me, so we're going to switch over here. It says knight g to e2 is what I should have done. That's the only move that keeps us close to even. I could have stayed within -1 and 0 by taking this knight, but he would have taken back, and then I would have had to bring this knight back here, which is where it was, if I'm not mistaken. And it does say he would have taken the knight, and I would have taken back with my knight. Okay, so I was correct that I had to protect the knight. I was just incorrect in how I did it, because bishop to b2 allows him to play knight to e7. And then he just would have been ahead, but I don't know why. Or knight to h6, he would have been ahead there too. But Antonio didn't know that because Antonio is apparently about my same intelligence level, and he took there, which brings us very back close to even if I take. And then he played d4, which... Oh, no. Okay. During the game, I didn't notice in this until later when I said, oh, I should have taken that pawn. But no, his queen's guarding that pawn. Later, when I had my knight here, it made more sense. But here, I had to go back to d2? d2 would have been better. b2 was inaccurate because it allows... Oh, I thought it allowed pushing this pawn forward. And then I was going to have to, come back here, which is where it started. But no, it doesn't allow that. It allows knight to e7. And we're going to zoom into that during editing so you can see that the second best move is also knight to e7. Please fix this, chess.com. This is getting pretty bad. We know his second best move is not knight to e7 because that's his first best move, and there's a bunch of other legal moves that have to be second best. But he didn't do that. He did that, which I was a little scared of, but I should not have gone forward with it. Oh, of course not, because I just gave him the knight. Wow. I should have come back with it. Or gone here where it would have been defended. But instead, I just gave it up for free. Okay, so that's where I went behind for a good little while. I'm going to go back to the review and look at the graph. But I have to click backwards and click forward? No, because he didn't do it immediately. He challenged my bishop. And if we go back over here, it was my best move to take the knight and him to take back. And I had to check. Okay, so I was ahead here a little bit. I was misreading what was going on. I should have checked. I should not have done that. That's what put him ahead for good. If we switch over here, look at the graph, and again, the line is gone, so I have to go back and forward to get this green line. Okay, or sorry, it's a red line now. But yeah, that's what put him ahead for quite some time. It was taking that pawn because I did not realize that my knight was hanging, and I didn't realize it because he hadn't taken it a couple of turns ago. When I moved it there, he should have taken it immediately. And I should have seen before I moved it there that he could have taken it. But I didn't, and he did that. And here I could have either taken or checked, but I took first, and now I definitely need to play knight to d6 check. He's going to move his king over, which keeps him from castling. And then I'm going to take this pawn because my knight would be blocking the thing. But I was so focused on taking that because the knight was defending it. And I was like, oh yeah, now I could do it. Oh my goodness. Well, that's a little embarrassing. So that's a blunder because he can just take the knight. Okay, so he's ahead for a good little section here, all the way down to here. He's still ahead. But he messed up when he went to go after my defended pawn. Well, I should have checked here. Now, rook to e7 check. According to this, that would have made us even. If I had checked, he would have gone to d8. Oh, it's a free knight. Because here I was a piece behind, and I could have leveled that up or evened that up by taking there. And then he would have to run away with the bishop because it would also be in danger. I did eventually start looking for checks, but not here. Okay, so I missed that. And I was thinking of checking and threatening the rook at the same time, but he played his best move, which is here, which keeps me from doing that. Oh, and I should have given up the rook for this pawn. And of course, a rook for the pawn and the bishop. I asked about that, and I don't remember if it was here, but here that was my best move. But here is where I decided to check, which is kind of okay. Okay, so I'm still behind here. Antonio played his best move. Okay, now here, this makes sense, because if I take this pawn and he takes, then I get his rook. Okay, see, the other place, I didn't understand why it's my best move, but here I do understand why it's my best move. I just saw the other way around, which is, oh, free pawn, and then this. But here it's free, it's not free pawn, but it will be after he takes, and I take his rook. So we each lost a rook, but I also got that long passed pawn. Like, that's way down there. Okay, that makes more sense. I understand that one completely. Because I did this, he should have moved his rook to b5. Oh, because the bishop's hanging. Did I even see that? I don't remember if I said that during the game that, oh, I'm going after this bishop and his rook at the same time. He should have gone to b5 to protect the bishop, but because he moved over, I'm definitely not supposed to take the bishop. Because of this pawn. I had to do something about that pawn. And what I should have done is just move this bishop back over here. Huh. Well, I didn't think of that. I did my second best move, which is get in front of the pawn. He needs to come down in here, which maybe keeps my king from coming out. I moved the pawn because, and I chose which pawn to move based on what color bishop he had. He had a light squared bishop. I don't think I said that out loud, but I opened a dark square for myself because of that bishop. For example, if I had played here, well, that doesn't help because I can't get out on the light squares. I mean, even if that pawn wasn't there. So I don't understand what bishop to d3 does. Oh, it gets it out of danger. And now while I was talking, that's not his best move. He needs to defend it with this rook up to h5. But he played rook to h6, which leaves me ahead again. Am I ahead permanently after this? Again, going back to look at the graph, how do I back up and go forward here? Can I use the arrow keys? Okay, yes, that's where I went ahead for good. Okay, I wish the line would stay on the graph the whole time, but it doesn't. So yeah, he went from being up almost -4 to me being up -2.5 if I take the bishop and only. Okay, well, I finally saw that, and now he needs to play rook to c4. Okay, I'm not sure what that does, but instead he went after my rook, and that was a little tricky. Okay, great move. I'm glad I figured that out. I'm up +5 if I find that. If I just take this now, which is what I originally thought I would do if he moved there, and I think I did say this out loud, I would still be ahead, but just not as much. But I'm only up 1 point of material after that trade. But if I go this way, I'm up +5 because he only has one legal move. Oh, it would have been better to take the knight because then my bishop would be guarding my rook. And it says he wouldn't take my bishop, but I'm pretty sure he would. Oh, but then I would get his rook. Okay, but taking the rook first, now I'm down a little bit, +3.5. He did play his best move, but now I've got to run away with my bishop. Okay, so I'm just up from here on out. But I definitely was not really confident here. I just thought I got out of the losing situation. I had no idea it was ahead. Still got to worry about this pawn. I'm only up 1 pawn, and I'm afraid of advancing it because my bishop can only protect it on dark squares. So now I'm at +4, but now I can take this pawn. Okay, that's why it's up as high as it is, because that pawn, taking that was a given once I got his rook. Okay, I'm over my time now, but I'm grasping this. So I'm going to keep going and see if there's anything else. Looks like there are a few inaccuracies, so I'm guessing I missed a mate at some point. Here I should not have done what I did, which was go to bishop to f8, but I had a reason for that. It was so I could get this pawn for free. But I should have instead because I could have gotten the rook for the bishop. Oh my. When I found this double attack, because that's the check and the attack on the pawn, maybe I should have looked for a different double attack because it's a check and an attack on the rook. See, I get that too. That one would have been better than what I did. The other thing would have been to take the knight. That even would have been better than what I did because this just gets a pawn, but that would have been a trade, so I'm not sure about that. And he went toward the bishop, which does, of course, allow me to take the pawn, but was it my best move? It's not sure. Stockfish isn't sure. It thinks maybe I should check again. It flipped back and forth, and now, yeah, they're about the same, so it's not bad to take here. He needs to move the rook, g6, e6, h5. Okay, it flipped back and forth between a few of them. It looks like it must not have mattered much. Oh, and h3, or just go ahead and get the king out of danger now. So this wasn't great, but I don't know what it harmed because I was very easily going to get out of check. The knight hops in, and I should have just taken it. Yep, I missed that. I don't know why this is not counted as inaccurate. Wait, it says it would have been almost as good as taking the knight if I had just moved this bishop over. To me, that's huge. Maybe to a computer it's not, but as a human playing, if you can just take an opponent's piece and you're not like giving up checkmate or something or some other tactic, and here I wouldn't be. It has to be a lot bigger difference than that, taking the piece versus just not doing it. Because when I went here, yeah, that should have been counted as inaccurate. My goodness, but it's +6 to take the knight, and it's +5.5 to not take the knight and just let them have it. And it's their best move to play h3 here, not to protect the knight. See, I would have assumed protecting the knight was their best move. Okay, now I did find this. They moved over. g3 was my best move. They take, it is my best move to take, and now that rook has to give up defense of the knight because I'm guarding all of these squares. The rook can't defend the knight anymore. So it had to run away, and I get the knight anyway. So maybe that's why it wasn't important that I take it earlier, because I could threaten the rook, and it either had to protect the knight temporarily and then run away, or give up the knight immediately, and so I had the knight whether I took it there or not. That I also understand. Rook went over here trying to sneak around. My best move was king to e3. Oh, well, I don't know why. I think my reasoning for this was to get behind that pawn, but oh, and the game review thought that was best. Well, thank you, game review, for that confidence. Let's skip forward here to these inaccuracies, which were both on the bot's part. Yeah, see, here is where I said I thought the bot was going to get in front of it, and that was the best move, but instead it went back one, which allows me to push further, which was my best move. And here, oh, now Stockfish has found a mating sequence. Rook to d8 is the best move, but instead the computer played here. Oh, and I should have just thrown away the bishop immediately. Would have been my fastest path to mate. Okay, I don't know why I thought those were my inaccuracies at the end. I could have just skipped all this. I should have just given up the bishop immediately because that either forces the king out this way or forces the king to take the bishop and then I promote. That's why the rook needed to stay back there, I guess. Okay, so I think we figured out where I went behind, which was way back here on move 18. Oh, okay, coming up on move 19. My knight is hanging. I need to move it, which keeps the queen from seeing this pawn that I can take. Okay, that I completely understand. And after that, I was behind for quite some time. I understand. Thank you for spending your time here. This analysis, post-game analysis, went a lot better than I thought it would because a lot of times I just don't understand what's going on. But I felt like I understood most of these. And I think my elementary blunder of just hanging the knight was, my low point for a while, but it worked out. And sometimes that happens against humans at my level too. Sometimes you make an elementary blunder, they take that piece and you're like, I guess I'll keep playing. Sometimes sometimes you should. Let me know what habits you're trying to develop to get better at chess, because I might incorporate them into my own system once I get done with the real life stuff that's been distracting me from this. And I'll see you next time.